Hey internet, it's Yasu. I'm a cinematographer and gaffer in real life, and I've just become aware of this amazing short film that came out recently-ish called Blinkomania by Charlie Nightingale. I'm a sucker for like indie projects, and I love animation despite being, not animated. Doesn't matter. I want to check this out. I want to break it down, and mostly I just want to bring attention to this beautiful thing.
I heard you call me, take us home,
Ooh,
Aubrey.
a musical.
Felt every
That's
day was the same.
unexpected. I love it though. Also, me.
I don't need another. I don't need another. I don't need.
Sweet. Now that we're in the studio, I want to talk about how beautiful this is, right? Some shots really stood out to me, and I want to talk about them. I do also want to start off by saying that this is not going to be 100% positive because not everything's positive. If you do everything perfectly, you don't learn. I know that. The few things I'm pointing out are so minuscule compared to how good it is that I just want to take it into account, kind of a thing. So first I want to say how beautiful the colors are. Like, oh my God, they're amazing. Well, we go here, right? We get a nice little this. The eyes in the background lighting go from over here, kind of a thing. Their shirt and the blinko of this color, and the background, all of them are like of this color, right? That's a tetrad kind of a vibe for a color wheel, which is good, right? You want to either work with that one? Do you want to work with like, monochromatics, or just singular colors? You want analogous. You want like multiple singular ones in a line that kind of like complement each other. You want complementary, right? So ones that go directly across the line, which again we're doing here with the tetrad. It's the same concept, but it's four instead of two. And we got self-complementary, which is this one, which is like this here. Basically, you ignore the ends and you go directly to the complementary sides. It's a beautiful scope. Obviously, it's a theory. Rules are meant to be broken, right? As long as you understand the rules, they're meant to be broken. But when you follow the rules, you can most likely guarantee it's going to be amazing. And this scene here, they're using the tetrad kind of color scheme perfectly. I love it. This bugs me because I would get my head cut off and be roasted on a spit if I did this. A singular finger and the thumb kind of wrapping around it like this. But then when we cut to the back, it is more softer on the finger. The finger is not clenched as much, and it's overall softer. And I know why they did this, right? They did this to highlight the Blinko, to show it, to give a nice over the shoulder look that they're going for. But I would be killed if this happened. Beautiful color work, beautiful lighting. I love it. Now in this scene, right, when Aubrey is stealing that criminal. Now in this scene, right, when Aubrey is stealing that criminal. I mean, I love the bouquet lighting. I have a feeling this is supposed to be like that Aubrey is in like this dazed, kind of like head rushy moment kind of a vibe in the scene here, which is why it's all dreamy. These Blinkos, I mean, they're pretty dreamy. Gosh, I'd love to get one of those. But I don't know what's going with that. I'm going to be honest. But no, once again, colors are nice. We got nice vibrant pinks. Again, the bouquet lighting, that's when lights are out of focus or something crosses by and it creates like a glare effect. Okay, one of the best tools you can have. But the real reason I did this is I want to drag in my good old-fashioned friend, the rule of thirds. Now, I love the rule of thirds. We love the rule of thirds here. Basically, the rule of thirds is a framing composition thing where you put the character into one of the thirds or on a third line. If you look here, they put Aubrey on this third line as they go by. That line is where the eye gets drawn to the most. Putting something in the center here won't look good. You give them a lot of headroom up here, it's not good. But the moment you put them on that thirds line, the headroom to the top is a little bit less, and it looks a lot better. Even if it's a bit basic, the basics are the best. You can't go wrong with the basics. I mean, come on. Aubrey is a dirty thief who fell for the predatory nature of the Blinkos, and is mostly against the will. But who cares? Dirty. No, I'm kidding. Ooh.
Hey, let go, man. I had it first.
Not true. I clearly had it before you did.
Who do you
Spotlight
think you
effect.
are? Look, I'm just trying to grab my Blinko and go.
Who am I?
Who are
Surely a
you?
fellow Blinko enthusiast like yourself would know me.
Oh, my bad, my bad, my
I'm
bad.
the biggest collector
Original
of
gangster,
Blinkos
my
on this side of the
apologies.
country. I have at least one of every Blinko released except this one. So
Another
if you could
musical?
just
Ooh.
kindly give it to me, then I'll be on my way. There we are.
Hey, dude, give it back. You clearly have enough.
Any Blinko you can think oh, I must have it for myself.
You hear that in the
Not
background?
some
Ooh, that's
toy for
good.
kids to
The kids yearn for Electro Swing, damn.
I know you cry, ask
Ah!
why, oh, I say life's not
Directional
fair.
audio, oh my
It's
gosh!
sad, such a shame. What's your deal, kid?
Damn, what, yeah, what the?
Just
Oh.
take it.
Holy. That was one hell of a jump. That's the end. Damn, that was good. Hold on, let me just make sure that, yeah, it's just black. Damn, that was good. We're gonna talk about the Blinkomania scene because, well, I mean, if we're being honest, it's a bop. Arguably, I mean, I love the whole story. This was easily the best part of the musical. I mean, first I want to talk about positioning, right? Positioning your characters is super important in any scene, especially a dialogue. Now, in dialogue, right, there's a few simple ways to frame characters. Either have the I, the L, or the A, basically. Simple as that. An L positioning is when you have a character here, and a character here, and they all make an L shape. Second one is an A, where we have a guy in the middle here, we have a guy here, and a guy here, and then they all talk like this. The camera can be anywhere, it can go here, here, like here, 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 here with a two-shotter, two shot, two shot, endless possibilities. Usually A1s are reserved to be only three people. L can go further, right? L you can have as many people as you want. You can have one, two, three, four, five, six, as many people as you need here. And then last but not least is an I formation. This is the easiest. Ready? I. You're welcome. There can be as many people in the I as you need, but it's just a straight line. They can be facing away from each other. They can be facing towards each other. They can do I formations are the most common for a reason. We have the collected dude here and Aubrey here. Sorry, my bad. Aubrey here. He's looking down at them and they're looking back up at him. The eye line here would be this, right? It's a straight line between the two of them where the eyes meet. Now, let me ask you a question. A little bit of engagement bait, right? I'm going to list four camera locations that this could possibly be in, and I want you to name one or as many as you can that are correct in this scene. A, B, C, D, E, and F. Which one of those, or which number of those, or which one do you think the camera's in? If you said A, B, and D, these three, you're correct. If you said C, E, and F, you're wrong, technically. If I didn't clarify that this here is the Triceratop and this is Aubrey, then you would be correct if you did any of these. But since I made the distinction that this is one and this is the other one, we put them in a scene. So therefore, B, D, and A have to be correct. And of course, A refers to this location, B is this location, and D is the wide shot, the main shot, the two shot. Actually, I love the way these heighten this whole thing because they make Aubrey feel really small. You're not gonna believe what I'm gonna pull out. It's the rule of thirds. You caught me. First of all, they kept them on that third line in the middle. That's beautiful. It creates a good distance between the two of them and also the edge of the frame. But also, neither of them on the thirds. Aubrey is below that third point there, and the collector is above the third. They both hit the third, sure, but neither of the eyes are on that third line, which is kind of like, although that being said, if we drag it here, his eye line's basically on that third. If we put it on Aubrey, Aubrey's eyes are basically on that third. What does that mean? That means that the animators did an amazing job because they showed a difference in power and height by the thirds line. When they're solo, they don't have that imbalance. And then obviously this one is an over the shoulder, but with no shoulder. So it's a clean over the shoulder. And this is a dirty over the shoulder, except it's more of a cowboy shot because it's waist down. So to clarify, two shot, over the shoulder clean, over the shoulder dirty. I want to talk about this in a story perspective point. Our friend here, collector, the collector in this scene feels massive to because well, I mean he is literally, and also because he is stopping them from doing this addictive thing they've been doing. They've been stealing mostly without any issues this entire time, and the collector shows up and he does not let Aubrey to do it. He is a big obstacle that Aubrey has to overcome. Also, I like to point out real quick, side tangent. I love the use of antagonist, protagonist in the scene here, and not villain or hero. Because, sure, Aubrey here, they're our protagonists, right? They're the one that the story follows. That's not the same as a hero. Usually they overlap. But in this case, Aubrey is not a hero. No, no, no way. They are stealing. Although, I mean, stealing from Megacorps is not the worst thing you can do. It's still stealing. You are not a hero. Although that being said, our Triceratops here isn't the villain. Like, sure, he's egotistical, he's cocky, sure, and he's basically the bubble bass of this universe. But he's done nothing wrong. Heck, I'd argue he's better than Aubrey because he's buying all of them legitimately, kinda, probably. If you just look at the song by itself, you'd make the assumption he's the bad guy here, right? Aubrey was going to grab it and he stole it out of her hands. He seems like a villain, a scalper, who was like trying to steal from the poor. But no, side tangent aside, you're not a hero, you're not a villain, you are a protagonist, you are an antagonist. You are the going against the protagonist who is the main character of the story. Simple as that. First of all, colors are amazing. This is that analogous color scheme that I'm talking about. Then we have these two being on the opposite side, still complementary, but slightly different. It's time I point out. That's right, more lighting. I love the subtle shadow that popped up here. It was like a framed, maybe like 4 frames. Super small. It shows that the light source is coming from this direction somehow. Because we are blocking light coming this way and it's dark. I'm not going to talk about lighting here too much because this is Aubrey's fantasy realm. So light source doesn't need to be consistent because it's imaginary. But I love the detail of the shadow here. Now, this last scene I want to talk about is around the end when Aubrey is apologizing to their friends. I thought this was going to be them apologizing to the Triceratops because, but it was the friends, which makes sense for the story perspective, right? It started off with them hanging out with the friends, then they get addicted to the Blinkos, abandon the friends for the addiction, and then go back to the friends at the end as a changed person. Story-wise, that's a beautiful art. But I feel bad for the collector, dude, because he did nothing wrong. That's not the important part here. I want to focus on the eyes. Now, the eyes are the window to the soul. I think if I took a shot for every time I said that, I would be wasted by now. But it's such a small detail that I love to notice. Aubrey's eyes here are very bland. They're black and white. Very simple, very simple. However, the moment Aubrey hears the confirmation that like the friends don't hate them, they gain eye lights. These bad boys. These bad boys. This usually happens when a light is facing the eye, which gives them that little shine. It symbolizes the return of hope, kind of a thing. In this case, is that it's the hope that like, hey, Aubrey's friends don't hate them. Wow, crazy, but loyal friends. But it was a cool detail they included it because it's a super emotional moment for Aubrey. This is when they break out of this like haze, this trance they've been in. And it's very emotional. Now, there's one other time in this entire time they used it, and it was right after Aubrey scratched the collector. And you know why this is important? It's the same kind of a logic. Them breaking out of that trance to realize what the heck they've been doing. This is the turning point for the character. This is the climax of the film. It's when Aubrey realizes that this addictive nature can't go on. And we see it through a POV shot of Aubrey to kind of like emphasize that we are looking at ourselves, right? We are looking through the mirror at ourselves. Damn, it's good. It's good. I love this. This is a good short film. Blinkomania for a short film made by students, I'm fairly certain, for like a final, about consumerism and collecting stupid toys. Honestly, I love this. This is a 10 out of 10. and I highly recommend you watch it. And also, I'm gonna add all the songs to my playlist because they deserve it. Room to improve, sure, everyone does, but solid film. This makes me think, if I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm willing to show off my first film that I made back when I was in school still. It's really bad, but that being said, the funny number goes up, I will show it and give you guys a copy to watch whenever you want. But that's not important. Enough about me. Go watch this. It's amazing, spectacular, and as always, good luck, Godspeed, and good night.